What's up, everybody? Welcome back to Team Fish Knuckles YouTube channel. Today is Road Tuesday. We're gonna continue the trend of U.S. internationals. Last week we covered a really interesting Passimian deck that Jesper played, and today we're covering a very interesting Talonflame BREAK deck. Now, usually we see Talonflame, you see it just in like Greninja as a one of, or not one of, as a four of. No Fletchlings or Fletchinders. Some lists have been playing Talonflame BREAK, but Jeff Clusterman? Oh man, Jeff, I'm sorry, I probably killed your name. He actually piloted as the U.S. Nationals, and this is actually a really fantastic counter to Garbodor decks, and it kind of just like auto wins them, and it's probably the best counter to Garb that we have. I mean, there's also other stuff as well, and like Metagross, and there's some other stuff as well, but this is one of the biggest ones for sure, and this is going to be the Talonflame BREAK deck. Now, he actually gave a recap of what he played against. Espeon Zork, he got dunked twice, supposedly, so he took a loss there. Metagross, pretty much a good matchup because you're fire type. They have 1 billion HP, but you can use the Flare Blitz for 300 to knock them out, so that's really nice. You're both kind of slow, but you're going to be good in the end. Next up, Espeon Garb, which is a win, auto win. Espeon Garb, another one, auto win. And then Decidueye Alolan Ninetales. Now, I imagine this matchup's somewhat hard, even though you're fire type, right? You're fire type, you're good to go. What you have to worry about is Ninetales. Like, it's hard for you to deal with Ninetales because the max you can deal is 200 with the Flare Blitz and all that kind of stuff. It does make it kind of weird. And then they have Decidueyes, which you can start playing some damage, and they can attack with like Tapu Lele and stuff like that. So it's a very weird matchup for sure. He lost to that one. Mega Ray, it's pretty much an auto loss. He lost to that one, and then he lost to Rainbow. Oh no, he beat Rainbow Road. He dead drew 2 games. Lost to Mega Ray again, and then lost to Gallade Octillery. So unfortunately, he did not hit all the right matchups. If he would have hit a bunch of Garbs, he probably would have easily made cut, and no telling how far he would have made it. But let's go over this deck today. Let's see why is this deck so good against Garbodor, and see, hey, is it actually really good, or is it just a bunch of Theory Mon? So the first card we look at is Talonflame. Talonflame has this really cool ability, Gale Wings. This Pokemon is in your hand when you're setting up to play. You may put it down as your you may put it face down as your active Pokemon. We've seen this multiple times when you played Greninja. If you start Talonflame, you can start with it, be good to go. Now, the good thing about Talonflame is that it has the attack Aero Blitz, 40 damage, and you search deck for any 2 cards. This is fantastic because obviously you get any 2 cards, put in your hand. Yes, your opponent can end them away, but they have to constantly end you over and over again. And our main, we have 2 attackers, Talonflame and the Talonflame BREAK. Talonflame BREAK does have that Flare Blitz. It does 150, but you have to discard all fire energy attached to this Pokemon. But that's going to be okay. We're going to be fine here, and I'll show that why here in a second. But we still are going to play a 4-3-4 Talonflame line, because if you don't start Talonflame, or if let's say you do start Talonflame and you don't play the Fletchlings, well, that's your only Talonflame throughout the game. So you really need these other Fletchlings, and Fletchling has a Growl and Flap. Growl, opponent's attacks do 20 less, and Fletchinder Glide for 30. We really don't care about these too much. What we really care about is Talonflame and Talonflame BREAK, and that's going to be all of our Pokemon. There's not going to be no EXs, no Tapu Leles, no Shamans. The deck is really cheap. I think Talonflame BREAKs are promos. No, they're not promos. They're not promos. So you can get Talonflame BREAKs and have you pretty cheap competitive deck for the most part. So in his list, we're going to see 2 Enhanced Hammer to discard a special energy play, which is like, DCEs, Double Dragons, Herbals, Wonder Energies, Burning Energies, Strong Energies. All these cards can be discarded. The main ones are Double Dragon and DCE, which, almost every deck plays DCE nowadays. 1 Max Potion to heal the damage off Talonflame. The cool thing about Talonflame is you only need 1 energy to use Aero Blitz, so you can spam Max Potion. You could play more. This is his exact 60 list, so I didn't change anything for it. 2 Random Receiver flip over cards, so you hit a supporter card. 3 Rare Candy, so you get that turn to Talonflame, and 2 Stretcher. Stretcher is going to put a Pokemon from your discard pile in your hand, or shuffle 3 back in your deck. And the shuffle 3 back in your deck is really what is used here for the most part. When I'm using it, and you don't start a Talonflame, you definitely need the Rescue Stretcher to shuffle more Fletchinders back in your deck. And we're going to play 3 via Seeker. Once again, we're trying to counter Garb. And you're going to see this as well. There's no Ultra Balls in this list. You're probably thinking, what's happening here? But with Talonflame, you really don't need Ultra Balls because you can Aero Blitz for the Pokemon you need and be good to go that way. So it's a really cool concept. 2 Silent Lab. I'm going to shut down base Pokemon's abilities. So that way, you know, Tapu Leles and Shamans don't work, which is really nice, and it helps shut them down. 1 Brock's Grit to shuffle a combination of 6 Pokemon energies back into your deck. 1 Hex Maniac turn off abilities during your opponent's turn. 2 Lysandre, 2 Wind, and 1 Kukui. The Kukui can still be used with a Flare Blitz to hit 200, maybe on like a, I think a Lycanroc has 200, so you could do that. Also 40 plus 170 is 210. So that could take a knockout. You can like Flavor Blitz with a QE after using the Aero Blitz to hit 210 if needed, which is a cool thing you could do. 2 Sycamore, 1 Steven. And Steven's going to search deck for a supporter card and a basic energy. 1 Team Flare Gun, discard energy attached to your opponent's active Pokemon. So we have like both Team Flare Gun and Max Potion. And with VS Seekers, you could be a super like an energy disruption kind of deck. 1 Teammates to search deck for any 2 cards when a Pokemon is knocked out. And 4 Winona. Winona is how we're going to basically find our Pokemon. Winona lets you search deck for 3 colors Pokemon, put them in your hand, which can grab you like 3 Fletchlings, can grab you 3 whatever, like whatever colors Pokemon you need. Winona can grab you it, which is fantastic because you get Flare Blitz for Winona. I can grab 3 Pokemon that way. And this is going to counter Garb. Like, Garb is not going to do that much damage. You don't play that many item cards. You have, like, what, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. We have 16 total, which 16, yeah, it's enough for a knockout, but you just don't play them. You don't play Sycamore. You just, like, Aero Blitz for the cards you need and get set up that way, and Garb doesn't do anything to you. Espeon doesn't really do anything to you as well. Like, they can Psychic. For 90 maybe, they can like Confusion for 30, but Talonflame has free retreat, so you can get out of the Confusion, so you're not really too worried about these things, and you can easily take down both of these decks. Now you do play 3 Choice Band, so that way you can hit 180 with Flare Blitz, and then plus Kukui, you can hit 200. It can knock out Espeons as well, so that's pretty cool. And the deck's gonna play 3 Burning Energy. And as a fire card, we really don't see too much, but it can only be attached to fire Pokemon, unfortunately, so you cannot attach it to, like, you know, Fletchlings and Fletchlanders and Talonflames, not to break. I mean, you can attach to break, but not to break, is what I meant to say. But if this card is discarded by an attack of the fire Pokemon this card is attached to, attach this card from your discard pile to that Pokemon after attacking. So basically, after you use the Flare Blitz, the fire energies get discarded. But with Burning Energy, they get reattached back to Talonflame, and you can constantly use Flare Blitz over and over and over again, and kind of win games that way. Now, even then, let's say you discard 2 fire energies, well, then you can use Aero Blitz for 40, and then you can find another fire energy, and then keep going on and on. As long as there's 1 Burning Energy on Talonflame Break, you can constantly use the Flare Blitz over and over again, because you do play 12 energies, and it's very easily hit these back to back to back. So I think we're going to be fine here. I think we're going to showcase this deck off pretty well, and I think it does have a fantastic Garb matchup. So if you live in a very heavy Garb area, you're going to be good to go. I think even if like in Zoroark matchups, you should be good to go as well, because like Zoroark doesn't really do too much damage because you kind of manipulate your field. Yeah, you have to worry about Drampa, but then you can one-shot the Drampa. The Drampa can't really one-shot your Talonflame Break because they only hit 150. Unless they have Kukui, they can hit 170. Choice Band doesn't work because you're not a GX or EX, so that's something you have to look into as well. But there we go. There's a Talonflame Break deck. Like I said, it's one of the better Garb counter decks. It does struggle against some other decks, like, you know, the Mega Closet decks, and Ninetales is probably a bad matchup as well. But if you live in a very heavy Garb area, you can take this there and beat some people down. But guys, hope you enjoyed this video, and let's see the deck in action. Alright, so against Galahad, looks like they've been playing a Drampa Garb deck, or an Espeon Garb, or something. Like, color is like so like irrelevant nowadays, like, because that's both Shaman and Tapu Lele, so like it's impossible to tell what it is. So we actually have like one of the worst starts you can have, and that's like starting Fletchling, which is really, really bad because we need to start a Talonflame. And alright, so there's an Altar of the Moon for Darking Psychic, which still doesn't tell us too much. We know they're not playing Dark though, because we didn't see it in the little typings, which is, I think, is the unfortunate thing about this, like about the online thing, is you can see what people are playing. So yeah, there's a Burning Energy and an EV and a Trubbish. Okay, now there's an end. This is great. Our hand wasn't good at all. We need to find a turn 1 Winona to give down multiple Fletchlings. Okay, so we get the Winona, which is great. We see a Flowstone going to the bench. Trubbish does he have a Psychic Energy? And nope. Gonna put a DC in the active, which is great for us. We can Enhanced Hammer discard the DC. So Winona. I'm grabbing 1, 2, 3. We didn't prize any of these guys, so that's good. So put those 3 guys down. So 1, 2, 3. We will Enhanced Hammer, discard the DC off the active. Put a Fire Energy on the bench, Fletchling, and we'll just have to pass right now. But next turn we can use another Winona to get 3 more colors Pokemon, which can grab us like some Fletchlinders. There's a Psychic Energy. Go on the active. We'll see an Energy Evolution, and this is going to be an okay match. Even though we start off kind of shaky, we're going to be able to VS Seeker Fletchinder, get back 3 of those guys, and the next turn put down Talonflame and start the party. But they receive VS Seeker. Going to grab another in here, and maybe we'll top deck a Rare Candy Talonflame. That would be really nice. Because as long as, like, with Talonflame, we can search for any 3 cards out of our deck and make it kind of useless for the Garbodor. So we see 3 Troubleshoot the field. We got another Winona. And things are looking good for us. So we see Psybeam for 30. That's fine. On our turn, we will Winona to grab 1, 2. Only have 1 prized, unfortunately. I don't know. This deck only plays. Does it only play 2? Oh, no, it plays 3. So we have 1 prize, unfortunately. But that's fine. We'll put down Fletchlinder. We'll put down Fletchlinder. And we will just pass again onto our opponent's turn. We can put down Talonflame, Winona for another Talonflame, and be good to go. The only thing I'm scared about is if he has a DC, he can go for Divide GX, put 70 on this guy and 30 on this guy for the knockout. Oh, actually, no, that wouldn't knock us out. Well, yeah, it would. Yeah, it would. So he needs a DC, or he can go for the Divide GX and put us in a kind of a weird situation. But does he find a DC? We've already discarded 1 thanks to Enhanced Hammer. Nope, gonna put a Psychic Energy active. And we'll see Psybeam for the knockout. And this is actually great news for us. We can send into Fletchlinder, okay. On our turn, we will put down the Talonflame. We will Winona. And with the Winona, we'll grab another Talonflame. We'll grab both Talonflames, sure, why not? We'll put down a Talonflame. And we will go for an Aero Blitz. And with this Aero Blitz, we're going to grab a Talonflame Break and a Choice Band. Yeah, we'll grab these 2 cards in our hand. Because what we can do next turn is put down the Talonflame, Choice Band, Burning Energy, and take a knockout on that Espeon GX. And Garbodor right now is not doing any damage. There's a Psychic on the active. We might see a Psychic for 90. But then Trubbish comes up and swings for 20. So Psychic for 90, okay. And this is why it's a good matchup. So we'll put down the Talonflame Break. We'll put a Burning Energy in the active, put down the Choice Band, and we will go for a Flare Blitz for the knockout. Alright, so doing 180 damage, discarding 1, but then it gets attached because the Burning Energy, taking 2 prize cards. So there's the N and a Rare Candy. With the Rare Candy, we grab a Talonflame. And if we find another Fire Energy, we keep using Flare Blitz over and over again. Garbodor right now is doing 20. If he gets a... Well, actually, he's not going to do anything, really. So we see a Psychic Energy active, okay. Yeah, we're looking great here. We're looking fantastic. Alright. There's a Lysandre. Gonna remember the bench Fletchling, which is even better for us. Like, yeah, we can't... Oh, yeah, that's not even a knockout. Alright, so this is great. Alright, so... Oh, yeah, we take a Burning Energy. Oh, my goodness. So, Rare Candy Talonflame. We'll put a Burning Energy on this guy. We will retreat, and we'll take a knockout, and both energies will be attached back to us. We'll put down this guy. I don't know why I haven't put this stuff down. I'll put down this thing. Put down this thing. And we will go for not an Aero Blitz, a Flare Blitz for 150. Both Burning Energies will be discarded, but then reattached thanks to their effect. And we go down to 3 prize cards. There's a Fire Energy. What can our opponent do now? There's a Trubbish coming up. We have 2 in the discard pile, and you got to think we have this game. There's a Psychic Energy going to the bench. We might see a Stomp Off. Gonna treat and pass onto our turn. Alrighty. Well, we'll put a Fire Energy on the bench. And we'll go for another Flare Blitz for 150. And we go down to 2 prize cards. Both energies be attached because of the Burning Energy effect. There's another Fire Energy going in our hand. And you can see why, like, Espeon Garb is such, like, a good matchup. We get the free retreat, get out Confusion if needed. There's a Sycamore. Alright. I mean, what can he even find here? Our Garbodor's only doing 40. If he gets an Espeon, yeah, he can confuse us. But if we find another one, there's an, what is that, a Drampa? We don't care about Drampa. We can knock that out pretty easily with the Choice Band. There we see Alter the Moon coming down. We have double Random Receiver in our hand. We could dig for a Lysandre if needed. Choice Band to the Drampa. We don't play any EXs or GXs, so we do not care about this. His ideal thing is to like maybe go for Righteous Edge and hope we don't find a Fire Energy, but nope, pass onto our turn. We got the Lice in our hand, gonna rid of the Drampa, and we will go for a Flare Blitz for the knockout. There we go. Talonflame Break, taking a game against the Drampa Garb Espeon deck. We didn't even start Talonflame, and we were still able to take down one of the best decks in the format, and that's why the matchup is so good for you. You had the free treat with Talonflame. You can just do a bunch of stuff. You can just keep searching for cards with Winona, and once you get Talonflame out, you can get to search for 82 cards in your deck and be good to go. But we'll see another game with the deck here in a second. Hopefully it's a little bit more exciting, but that Espeon Guard map is a pretty easy matchup. But we'll see what happens in the next game. Alright, guys. Alright, so I think it's Firestorm 86 playing a maybe a Mega Gardevoir Giratina deck. So we lost a coin flip. Did I call it Tails? Did I really just call Tails? I think I just called Tails. Alright, so my opponent has a mulligan. Okay. And did I really just call... I think I just called Tails. We should be punished for that. Alright, we get 2 mulligans. There's Double Dragon. I really think it's a Mega Gardevoir Xerneas deck. Which... it's gonna be a hard matchup. But right now we have multiple mulligan cards, so that's good for us, okay? Alright, as long as we start Bridget, I mean not Bridget, a Winona. So yes, yes, yes. Alrighty, and there's a Tapu Lele, which is good for us, okay? But we're going to Random Receiver trying to find a Winona. So there's a Fairy Energy active. There's an Ultra Ball, gonna start 2 cards from their hand. Yeah, I don't know how we deal with like non-Mega Poke. Like, I don't know. We'll see. We'll see. We'll find out. Alright, so there's Xerneas. So it looks like maybe a rainbow. I don't know. It could be either like a Xerneas Break deck. It could be Mega Gardevoir. There's a lot of different things that could go on here. So we find okay, this hand's not good. So pass onto our turn, alright. So we get the Rare Candy Talonflame. Oh man, attach energy to the active. This could be really bad. Shouldn't have attached. Alright, so we'll go for a Growl, which is essentially like not attaching energy. So I guess we're okay here. Because he can't take a knockout unless he plays a DC. If he has a DC, he takes a knockout regardless. So nope, gonna put a Fair Energy on the bench. Gonna Ultra Ball, so he didn't even go for the Growl, boy. Oh, he just got the Xerneas Break. Oh boy. So Silent Lab come down. There's another Xerneas in his hand. Okay, we have Rare Candy Talonflame in our hand, which is really good. So Xerneas coming down. Retreats into Xerneas, and we'll see a Geomancy. Gonna get 2 energies in play. Alright, so 20, 40, 60, 80. Alright, so the most he can do next turn is 80, so I'm not too concerned about this. So, oh, and we top deck another Pokemon. So we'll Rare Candy into Talonflame. Okay. And right now, we'll just go for an Aero Blitz. And with this Aero Blitz, I'm going to search out a Sycamore and a Talonflame Break. Okay? Because what we can do next turn is put down Talonflame Break, put a Burning Energy on it, Choice Band, Sycamore, discard our hand, and be good to go. We can knock out a Xerneas Break. Xerneas Break next turn could do 20, 40, 60, 80, 100. Alright, but no, going to get another Geomancy, going to get 2 more energies in play. But we're going to start swinging next turn. Okay. Alright, so he's only going to... he's going to put both on each. Okay, so we get a Fletchinder. We get a Talonflame Break. Put a Burning Energy on it. Put down a Choice Band. And we'll Sycamore, discard our hand, draw 7 new cards. Alright, so we get another Fletchling. We'll put that down. And we will go for a Flare Blast for 150. Taking a knockout, going down to 5 prize cards. Burning Energy being reattached. Thank you very much, sir. And there's a VS Seeker. So my plan next turn is to... okay, he's going to send the Xerneas. So that's good. Right now, Xerneas Break, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Can only do 160. He'll be 20 damage short, which is great for us. Alright. So there's a Stretcher, putting his Xerneas back into his hand. Okay. Oh, his Xerneas Break in his hand, okay. We can still knock that out next turn with the Talonflame Break, which is great. So Xerneas Break coming down, okay. Let's see, what does, so no, gonna live stream, only do 80, my opponent is in like big trouble, because what we can do is put down this guy, I'm gonna put a Burning Energy on the active, Hex Maniac shut down abilities, and we will Flare Blitz. Oh, hold on, was that a mistake? 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh boy, if he has an energy, he can take a knockout here. Alright, so here comes Tapu Lele onto our opponent's turn, okay. But even if he takes a knockout here, we should be okay. So Energy Drive, not going to take a knockout, and that is going to be the game. My opponent, unfortunately, did not have anything, and there we see the victory screen coming down. I mean, even if you had the energy, we would have just put a Fighter on the bench. Random Receiver trying to find a Teammates to grab a Talonflame. If not, we would have just played Sycamore, discard our hand, draw 7 cards. And there we go. Opponent, unfortunately, not being able to set up. Once again, we didn't even start Talonflame, but we're still able to take down a Xerneas Break deck. That game, he really didn't get set up too much. He kind of just, I mean, how many, he played like, what, 1 trainer card? He played 4 trainer cards. He drew more cards than us. He drew 39 while only drew 28. So my opponent actually drew more than we did, and still not unable to do anything really. But we'll see another game with the Talonflame Break deck here in a second. Hopefully it's an exciting game, but I can't make any promises. So we'll see what happens in the next game. Alright, so opening against Agony, looks like they're playing another Psychic Colors, which could be anything. Drampa Garb, Espeon Garb, it could, I don't know. But yes, we'll go first this game. We actually call heads this time, so that's good for us. And we get a mulligan. He's going to know we're playing Talonflame Break, but does he know what Talonflame Break does? I don't know. Don't know. We just got to hope we start with a Talonflame. As long as we do that, we should be in a good spot. In energy. But we don't. Alright, so they start Fletchling, of course. Alright, can we tell like a Winona? Fingers crossed. Alright, so double Trubbish. Well, I guess put a Fighters in the active and play an N. Okay. Alright, so there's Winona for next turn, but we need one this turn, unfortunately. So, we'll have to pass it to our opponent's turn. He's not threatening a knockout right now, so we're fine with that, okay? But Winona can get us two Fletchlings and a Fletchinder. Then we see Tapu Lele come down. Gonna use the Wonder Tag. What he could do is find a DCE and a Floatstone to retreat and take a knockout that way. That would probably be the main way to win the game right now. Alright, so see Bridget. Brigetti Spaghetti coming out. There's a Drampa and a Trubbish, okay. There's a Floatstone to the active. Does he have a DCE? I'm going to send the Drampa. And I'm going to put a Rainbow Energy active, taking that 10 damage, and we'll see a Righteous Edge for 20 damage. Alright, so on our turn, we get a Fletchinder, okay? So if he gets an he's going to Berserk, which is going to take a knockout if he has a DCE, unfortunately. So I'm still going to Winona to search for 1, 2, 3. Okay. We'll put down 1, put down 2, put down 3. I'm just going to Growl for 20. I mean, if he has a DC, he's going to take a knockout anyway, so I really don't want to waste our Fletchinder in our hand. Okay. Righteous Edge does 0 right now. So there's a Garbodor. Okay, Garbodor does nothing right now. And there's an N. Does he find a DC? Do we find a Rare Candy Talonflame? Do we find more Winonas? There's a lot of different things that can happen here. There's a Fletchinder, a Talonflame. Okay. There's a Garbodor coming down. The Garbotoxin. I don't care about that. And there's DC, so he will be able to take a knockout this turn. So Berserk for the knockout, doing 60 damage. He does get that reduction. And we'll send up Fletchling. Alright, so on our turn, we will put down Fletchinder. I'm a Winona for a Fletchinder and a Talonflame. I'm just going to grab these two. We'll put down another Fletchinder. Put a Fire Energy on a bench one and just pass it to our opponent's turn. Okay, this is not going good. But next turn what we could do is put down both Talonflames, Lysandre up at Garbodor. Maybe get that stuck in the active spot. There's an Ultra Ball. Going to discard 2 cards from his hand, okay? Alright. So this card's a Choice Band and a VS Seeker, okay? Now what he needs is a Pokemon with damage counters on it, that way he can start knock out Talonflame breaks. So, there's a Garbodor coming down, okay. There's a Flowstone going to the bench Garbodor. VS Seeker for a Sycamore, most likely. No, for an N. Alright, so with the N, he's going to get rid of both of Talonflames. Alright, so, we need a Rescue Stretcher to get our Pokemon back on our deck. So, there's Talonflame, a Choice Band, and Enhanced Hammer. Alright, so there's a Cycling in the bench. There's a Berserk for the knockout, okay. Doing 80. Alright, so send a Fletchinder. On our turn, we will Enhanced Hammer, discard the DC off the active. We'll put down Talonflame. How many do we have in the discard pile? Just the one, right? So I'm gonna Random Receiver, trying to hit another Winona. And we found a Lysandre, okay? So I don't want to play the Lysandre right now. I'm just gonna put a Fighter G on the bench. And go for an Aero Blitz, okay? And with an Aero Blitz, I'm gonna grab a Talonflame and a Fire Energy. Now I'm gonna grab a Burning Energy. The only way he can take a knockout on our active Talonflame is if he has a Pokemon with a bench with damage on it and a DCE. Okay. So the DCE active, okay, does get a way to damage a bench Pokemon. So nope, going to Berserk for 80. Alright, so on our turn, we actually have a really good setup now. We can put down Talonflame. We can put a Talonflame break on the active. We can Hex Maniac to shut down abilities. Put a Burning Energy on the active. And we would go for Flare Blitz for 150. Knocking out that Drampa, going down to four prize cards. 4. Silent Lab and a VS Seeker going in their hand. Alright, so let's see what he does here. So Tapu Lele, 24 to 60, not going to take a knockout. Alright. We have the Choice Band in hand as well. If he puts down another Drampa, we can bring that up. The only thing I'm scared of right now is if he puts down a Drampa and puts a Choice Band on, he can take just a Drampa. He can go for Righteous Edge. So is he Ultra Ball? Gonna discard a Tapu Lele and a Field Blower. Okay. There's another Drampa coming down. We could just Lysandre bring up the Drampa for the knockout. Garb is only doing 20-40, so that's not going to do any damage really. So Drampa hitting the field. And gonna send the Garb. We'll see a Trash Lunch for 40 damage already. So on our turn, we will Lysandre bring up the Drampa. Put a Fighter G, Silent Lab, Choice Band, and we'll go for another Flare Blitz for 180 damage. Alright, going down to 2 prize cards. Alright, so 1 and 2 go in our hand. We find a Burning Energy and a Winona. Okay, so he's only doing 40, which is not enough for a knockout. He need a Kukui or a Choice or a Field Blower to get rid of the Choice Band off the active. Or a DC for 70 can take a knockout as well. And that's a truth. That's the truth right there. The truth. Well, let's see what 3 cards are. So the DCT active. We'll see an Acid Spray for a knockout here. Alright, going down to 3 prize cards. Heads, he gets to discard a Burning Energy. Alright, so send up the Talonflame. On our turn, what happens? So we get a Choice Band. We get Winona. It doesn't find us anything, unfortunately. So what I have to do here is Aero Blitz. Okay, we're gonna Aero Blitz, and with this, we're gonna grab a Talonflame Break and a Rescue Stretcher. And this combination can win us the game, because we can put down Talonflame Break, Choice Band, Lysandre bring the Tapu Lele, take a knockout. Yep, that's the plan. 20, 40, 60. He's only swinging for 60. He's not gonna take a knockout. The only unfortunate thing, if he goes for an Acid Spray and flips the heads, he could discard an energy. But if he does that route, I'm still going to VS Seeker for a Winona. Get a bunch of Pokemon to play, and we're still going to be okay here. Got the 3-shot the Talonflame Break. Okay. So there's a Psychic going to the bench Garbodor. We see an Acid Spray. Is going to be a heads or tails, and it's a tails, and we'll take the game. So we'll put down the Talonflame Break. We'll put down the Choice Band. We will VS Seeker for a Lysandre. bringing up that bench Tapu Lele. So come here, Tapu Lele. We'll put a Burning Energy on it, and we will take a knockout. There we go. And you can see why this deck does easily. It easily beats the Garbodor decks. Round 2, playing against a Xerneas deck, they didn't really get set up. But there we go. You can see why this is one of the ultimate Garbodor counters. You just really don't play the item cards. You just search with everything with Talonflame, and what can they really do? Like, they can do 70 discard energy, and that's pretty much all they can do. Drampa is a little scary, but we have all the energy disruption, so it's really hard for Drampa to keep constantly streamlining attacks. And there we go, guys. But hopefully you enjoyed this video. I hope you enjoyed this episode of Road Tuesday, and you can see why this is one of the ultimate Garbodor counter decks. But hope you have a great day. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you tomorrow for Wednesday's video. Okay, alrighty. Bye. Hit the subscribe button, all that good stuff. Oh, it's getting weird. Alrighty, bye. Alright guys, I just want to give a quick shout out to our 3 sponsors, 60 Cards, Yeti Gaming, and the Pokemon Company International. Links to everything will be down below in the description. Thanks for watching. Have a great day. Alrighty.